Sir, I think you should apologize to the trans community.
Oh, shut up, nigga.
You know, you're a piece of shit, Dave.
You need to shut the fuck up on this one.
Seriously.
Trans rights are human rights, and words matter.
Shut the fuck up.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and Wheaton is at it again. I don't know if being Wesley Crusher just destroyed him mentally, or if he's just got that way all on his own, but he decided to open his mouth again, this time to disparage Dave Chappelle and whine that he's in a new Netflix series. I don't know. Like, I wish Will all the best. I know he deals with some mental issues and stress issues, and that I sympathize with. But the guy is just so vile and filled with hate that it's really difficult to sympathize with him sometimes. You know, I know that it's a big shadow to get out of Wesley Crusher, but, you know, you gotta at some point, be thankful and not so hateful. You see this fight abounding in the comics. Will Wheaton calls Dave Chappelle a bigot and a piece of S after Netflix announced the comedian will headline Netflix is a Joke Festival. Star Trek host Will Wheaton targeted Dave Chappelle in a recent social media post, calling the comedian a bigot after it was announced he was headlining the new comic festival. Will Wheaton took to Facebook, where he shared a Rolling Stone article announcing that Chappelle would headline Netflix's comedy festival. He then proceeded to comment on the announcement, writing, "Absolutely disgusted. Every single comedian who is on this bill should withdraw unless this despicable bigot is uninvited." What a loser, in my opinion. Like, dude, Will Wheaton, you have 100% of the power to just not go, right? You have the power to not watch it. You have the power to you know, disinvite yourself from engaging in it. By the way, I know everyone loves to say they don't use Facebook. I know a lot of you still do. Facebook.com/thequartering needs you to leave a like and follow it. I use all alt tech too, but still Facebook has the most reach and shockingly the least amount of censorship, which of course is more like you know, being the smartest kid on a short bus, but whatever. Here's Will. Any comedian who's part of this should be ashamed of themselves. Netflix may not believe in holding this piece of S to account, but you all have to live with yourselves and the choices make to perform with him. It's pretty easy for Will to talk that junk. I'd like to see him say that to Dave's face. And F everyone at Netflix who's a part of this. Trans rights are human rights. Okay, yeah. Trans individuals also have the right to get made fun of. That's a human right as well. Edit. 12 hours later, an important follow-up thought. It's very easy for me to sit in my chair and issue edicts about what other people should do. Get a little blowback? That's presumptuous and overwhelms a larger point that I made in the comment here, which is also in its own post. I withdraw that outburst, and I regret saying it. Like, I don't know if anyone cares, but I guess I do, and I want to own it. After getting immense backlash. And then just look at this meltdown. It is legendary. My God, the ignorant white privilege from so many cis het men here is just sickening. You're not the main character, my dudes. We cannot possibly understand what it's like to have very existence constantly attacked and threatened. That's a bit of a stretch. Most people don't care about trans individuals. Like, one way or the other, I mean. We have the privilege of writing off bullying as just a joke because it doesn't really affect us. When an entire community of people are telling us that these jokes are hurtful, it's not an entire community. Dave Chappelle has trans fans, trans individuals that attend his comedy events. Imagine thinking that these people are so fragile that they can't take a joke. You know, being a white male is, a huge target for comedians and for anyone in Hollywood. And yeah, some of it is cringeworthy, but it's just part of it. I accept people being able to dog on cis-het white males, but guess what? We get to make fun of you too. That's the way it works. I chose to listen to the people I love who are hurt by all of this. Those of you who are just doing did you watch it sea lioning? I know it isn't funny. Or it's just a joke. Don't be so sensitive. Dismissals are not welcome here. Just go away and save me the hassle of blocking you. I'll never block you if you follow me over at facebook.com/thequartering. So there are people who are determined to defend and justify what I just listened to and conclude it was hurtful, phobic, and cruel rhetoric that is presented as harmless jokes. Okay, look at this. I'm not reading all of this. Bro, this is an absolute meltdown. And then there's a lot of people roasting him, of course. Do you still believe this? I hope that you do. Will Wheaton gives a perfect explanation on how to separate problematic artists from their art. Then Will in here, don't you dare twist my words to support or defend a transphobe. Gilly Smith writes, freedom of speech is also freedom to offend and a crucial part of a free society. Where would equal rights in the Western world be today if freedom of speech had been oppressed when people spoke out about women's rights, ending slavery, or decriminalization of being a member of the LGBTQ community? We might not like everyone's opinions and what they say, but it is vitally important that we never lose our rights and freedom to say it without fear or recrimination of being canceled. 1.1 thousand interactions. Will, where would equal rights in the West be today if freedom of speech had been oppressed when people spoke out about women's rights? Did you just compare those things to jokes? Yeah, comedy is actually an effective way to deliver messaging. I mean, the meltdown of I don't know what happened to this dude. And here's the other interesting thing. He's also assuming people's genders an awful lot. When I saw that there was heat on him about being canceled and being phobic, I had to watch the special. When I watched it, I couldn't see where the people were getting offended because it was just an act, a routine. He's a comedian. Will, as a cisgender white man, maybe you can take yourself out of the center of everything. Bro, Will, you're a cisgender white man and you're putting yourself in the middle of everything. Like, are you joking? 14,000 followers. If you're watching this video, let's get to 20,000. I know you have Facebook still. And poor Shammy is just writing. Look at it. She's just posted an article a few minutes ago. Here's another article. Lots of stuff for you to enjoy over here. Any hoozle. Poor Will Wheaton. I mean, what an unfunny, just vile, angry man. For anyone who genuinely doesn't understand why I feel as strongly as I do about people like Chappelle making phobic comments that are passed off as jokes, I want to share that a story that I hope will help you understand and contextualize my reactions behavior. Just because you don't think it's a joke, just because you don't find a joke funny doesn't mean it's not a joke. I find it hilarious that so many of these woke idiots are so quick to ascribe intent on other people that they don't have any clue where they're coming from. He doesn't know Dave Chappelle, I imagine. He's just saying, well, because I didn't think a joke was funny, it's clearly not a joke. This has been a common thing with like pro-censorship weirdos, excuse me, both on the left and the right. More prominently now on the left, but it's the same garbage. Wheaton then paused the story to discuss comedy and his love for it. Before I tell you what happened next, I want to talk specifically about comedy, how much I loved it when I was growing up. I listened to records and watched comedy specials whenever I could. one of the definitive comedy specials for me was Eddie Murphy's Delirious. It's still hilarious. The ice cream song, Aunt Bunny falling down the stairs, mom throwing the shoe, really funny stuff. I like how he's like, hey guys, I like jokes too, but these jokes I don't like, so they're not jokes. I mean, I get it, Will. You need to be, inserting yourself and be famous, but maybe just consider great advice once given to you by Captain Picard, and shut up, Wesley. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.